The mainstream media is finally admitting what we've been telling you for years. Disney Plus is a major disappointment, not just economically, not just in entertainment, but in ratings indeed. Today, we'll break down for you just how few people were actually viewing The Acolyte, Agatha, and even the #1 original show on Disney Plus. Get ready, it's a video you must see to believe. Hello, folks, and welcome back. Explaining entertainment, keeping you ahead of the culture curve. It is what we do, and we come to you from somewhere sunny, USA, where we are shining sunlight on the House of Mouse and Bob Iger's strategy to have kids and adults alike always watching his flagship Disney Plus platform that unfortunately doesn't seem to be coming to be. All right, folks, we're going to get underway. Click the like button. A panel and a video of excellence starts right now. Here's what we've got. This is from Paul Tassi, a.k.a. Mini Scott Mendelson, out of Forbes. It says why The Acolyte was Disney's #2 most watched show of 2024 and still canceled. All right, it says fans of The Acolyte, which still mourn its cancellation, all baker's dozen of them, were outraged when it was revealed from Luminate Data, reporting that the show actually ended up being the second most watched series on Disney Plus for 2024. Second only to Percy Jackson and the Olympians, which, boy, oh boy, I can't tell you how many tweets I see every day about Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Everywhere I go, people are wearing t-shirts. Percy Jackson. I stopped by the toy store. It's Percy Jackson merchandise from top to bottom. There's an entire aisle of Percy Jackson at Walmart and Les Target. Oh, wait, there's none of that because it's not popular either.
You're being sarcastic there.
I tried to play it like a Selena Gomez move there. I was being, minutia. Anyway, subtlety. The Acolyte had 2.7 billion minutes watched, while Percy Jackson had 3 billion. So Percy just barely beat The Acolyte. I gotta stop. That's bad. Putting The Acolyte ahead of both Marvel shows, Echo and, I can't believe it beat Echo. What about that? And Agatha all along. Of course, this raises question among fans. How does Disney's #2 show of the year still end up canceled? Fans are not going to like the answer. Wait a minute. Folks, are you sensing what I'm sensing? I think Paul Tassi is about to finally cross into the stream of truth and agree with us. The problem is a combination of surprise, budget, and what appears to be a wildly miscalculated estimate about its potential performance by Disney, which were totally unfair to the show, which clearly never had a chance given this data. It was like Selena Gomez. It was victimized right from the beginning. First, and here's where we're going to get the admittal. First, these numbers say more about Disney Plus itself being disappointing rather than these shows underperforming. Let's say it again. On the mainstream media, Forbes, from one of the most staunch allies of Star Wars and Kathleen Kennedy and Disney, Paul Tassi, Mini Scott Mendelson himself, is now declaring Disney Plus is a disappointment. And take a look at this. This is where Disney doesn't like this when you do this. They really don't like it. Let's get the full highlight. Okay. And in the larger context of the industry, Squid Game, season 2 on Netflix, amassed 1.2 billion hours viewed since Christmas, while Disney is measuring in minutes. Okay? Folks, I can't put this more starkly. They're calling out Disney Plus and they're saying what we've been telling you now for years. Nobody's watching it. It is being hidden how bad it is by Hulu. Like, they are doing everything they can to mix these numbers together. Oh, you think that's as bad as it gets? No. Another article. Paul Tassi again. Forbes, mainstream media. Why Agatha all along, Disney's second least watched MCU show, is still a hit. Oh, he's always looking for the sunny side. He's always looking
that's
for
a hit? No, that's not a hit. I can define what a hit is for you, for them. This is not a hit.
It was a financial hit.
Jonas, can I tell you why he thinks it's a hit?
Well, please.
Because it's #3 or #4 on Disney Plus. Despite the fact that there are no hits on Disney Plus. I mean, panel, if you think Percy Jackson is a big win, please tell me now. Tell me now if that captured the cultural zeitgeist. I got to know.
Now, so 3 billion minutes watched, Pro. If you look at the actual top 10 in that Luminate report, the lowest thing on that bar was a Netflix show, and that had about 7.6 billion, I think, minutes watched. So even the very top of Disney Plus's offerings is not even scraping the barnacles off the bottom of the ship that is the top of the streaming game right now.
The only clarification I'll add is this is specifically about streaming originals, because there is a show on Disney Plus that is trouncing everything else in streaming, but Disney doesn't make it, and it just happens to be on Disney Plus.
I feel like you're being cheeky by not telling us the name of it.
For real life. You want me to tell you? Actually,
$5 that I know what it is.
Yeah. And a Unicourse. I'm joking around a little bit here, but let
I
me
can't keep you up with all the puns. Just tell us, for the love of Dad, tell us who the show is.
Here we go. 55 billion watch minutes for Bluey.
Bingo.
There you go. That Disney lucked into getting because they signed an agreement in 2019. And why do we know they lucked into it? This is like Tom Brady as a draft pick right here. He wasn't a number 1 draft pick. No, he wasn't. Bluey, they said no to the theme park rights. They said no to merchandising, but they said, yeah, we'll fill out a little bit of the Disney Plus here. We'll fill out a little bit of the Disney Junior channel here with Bluey. Well, Bluey is right here getting more than 1 billion watch minutes per week. These are 8-minute episodes that they have on Disney Plus here. So the idea that anything that actual Disney makes right here, by the way, all these shows that are on Hulu right here, those are ones that were made by people that had nothing to do with Disney, and then Disney bought them. So there's your great storytelling company right there. Bluey, a show that they don't have any artistic control over because it's made by Ludo Studios, licensed several ways until Sunday, until it finally gets to Disney just in the United States. That is the only thing that is a true success at Disney Plus, and it was an accident.
So let's go to That Park Place. This is by Marvin. So Marvin, I'm going to let you give us the summary of it, but I think That Park Place is doing a better job than Paul Tassi on this, because
I agree.
we don't have an agenda to defend Star Wars or Marvel. We also don't have an agenda to hurt them. Like we're legitimately just trying to give you what the truth is, and we're doing coverage of a company that has lost 20% of its value since 2021, 2022. Excuse me, I'm sorry. 20% of its value in 5 years. If we were to go back to 2021, 2022, it's actually far more, something like 47%. So it's hard to be positive about a company that also is failing at streaming, but has been hiding it, and now the mainstream media is admitting it. Marvin, take it away. What do we got in this article? What were your big takeaways now that I guess everybody's going to start agreeing with us and pretend that they always thought the same?
Well, Agatha all along and Echo, it's very obvious when you actually look at the report from Luminate. If you scroll down a bit, I believe we have the screenshot there. Yep, right there. You can see that it didn't even come close, Pro, to Secret Invasion. Secret Invasion trounced it. Loki season 2 trounced it. The Rings of Power season 2 trounced it. And Echo was even worse than that. So they try to sit there and tell you that these things are a hit because it's the number 3 thing on Disney Plus, and they cite this Luminate report. And we saw this done. The Star Wars pixie dusters were out in mass about the Acolyte. The Acolyte's a success because it's a number 2 show on Disney Plus. But then when you actually they either didn't read the report or they're banking on you guys, the people, not reading the report, which is why we read the report for you and tell you what it actually says. Because when you actually dig into the Luminate report, it's the biggest own on Disney that could possibly be given. I opened it and I had to read it like 3 times. I'm like, there's no way that I lucked this hard into this report that basically confirms everything we've been saying for over a year. I mean, just utter, total, complete bomb. When you look at the top 10 streaming originals, like I said, they're in the 7 billions on the low end. And that list is completely comprised of 7 Netflix shows, 2 Paramount Plus series that happen to be by Taylor Sheridan, and 1 Prime Video series, which was Fallout, let it be known, not Rings of Power. So yeah, complete and utter bomb. Secret Invasion, maybe the most reviled piece of Marvel content to ever exist, is still leagues ahead of Agatha and even more ahead of Echo. It's disgusting.
Jonas, how much money has Disney spent on Disney Plus to try to make it successful?
I'm going to say this in a way that I need everybody to understand the context for this. If you're in the audience, $100 billion. They have spent $100 billion trying to make Disney Plus look like a success. $70 billion for the purchase of Fox. At least $15 billion trying to build Disney Plus. Another $15 billion trying to buy the other part of Hulu. So already we're at $100 billion here. And if you ask Bob Iger why he bought Fox, he is very specific that it was to bolster streaming. All that and this is not counting marketing. This is not counting the hits that they have taken to theatrical, which I can make the case for why theatrical has only been hurt by Disney Plus and not the other way around. Theatrical success does not equate to streaming success in any way, according to the Luminate data. This is something that has easily cost half the value of the Walt Disney Company and the entire value of Fox at this point in order to make this work. It is a complete failure on the part of Bob Iger, and they keep pretending like they did a good job with it. They keep patting themselves on the back and whistling past the graveyard, hoping that Wall Street doesn't understand just how much of a dumpster fire this has been. It has also damaged the parks because they defunded the parks in order to make this thing work. So there you go.
Right. And then the solution too on the parks was, well, we're not going to actually invest in it. If we do invest in it, we're going to destroy classic attractions so that we can fill that space so that we don't have to actually grow the parks, because then we'd have to pay more for the parks. So what are we going to do to make more money? Oh, I know. We will monetize every single aspect of the parks. So we can't build new attractions because we are busy making sure that you're buying Genie Plus. And for you to buy Genie Plus, we need there to be as few attractions as possible. That way the lines will be longer. That way you'll buy Genie Plus. So we're going to destroy Muppets, and we're going to destroy restaurants, and we're going to destroy all this stuff in the middle of summer in 2025, right as Epic Universe is opening. Do we care about the long-term viability of Disney World as our most important project? No, we care about driving up those Genie Plus numbers as Bob Iger gets ready to retire. Now, returning to this real quick, I just want to say, again, the mainstream media, they've acquiesced. They agree with us. They didn't agree with us. Now they agree with us, and they're never going to admit that they actually agree with us. We'll never get credit for it. That's okay. We don't need it because we've got an audience, and they don't. But take a look at this. As Jonas was showing, and this is from Now It's Known, Mac, huge supporter of the channel. We love Mac out there. Great source for information. Take a look at what that $100 billion is buying them. Bluey is in the lead. And then look at the rest. Everything else is coming from Hulu, which they purchased, and then they rolled the Disney Plus stuff into Hulu to make it look like Disney Plus is a success, but in reality it's Hulu. And what's on Hulu that's working? Grey's Anatomy, Family Guy, Bob's Burgers. There you go. Well, NCIS, Young Sheldon, you get the idea.
Well,
so
NCIS and Young Sheldon, those are very clearly coming from Netflix. I think Young Sheldon might have some Hulu streaming on it, but that is a CBS show, therefore a Max show, and on Paramount. Well, wait, no, maybe I got that wrong. But Paramount Plus is trouncing. By the way, it's worth pointing out that Landman is trouncing. One episode of Landman gets more streaming viewership than the entire series of any Star Wars show right now. And nobody's paying $200 million for that, despite being they're putting Disney Plus into like 6th place here. I mean, has that been clearly stated enough? I'm taking over your screen for just 1 second here. Netflix, then Amazon, then Paramount, a company that is famously about to go bankrupt. Apple TV Plus is beating Disney Plus right now, and that's enough that Apple is actually trying different strategies to try to get people to watch that content. Hulu, then Disney Plus. So Disney Plus is the number 6 streaming service, 7 if you count YouTube.
Jonas,
and finally, real quick, Marvin, because you're going to like this. Marvin, this is from one of your articles on That Park Place, a different article. This one is about the Acolyte. Marvin, explain this chart to us, because it again We are being proven true. Valiant Renegade, Midnight's Edge, Flash, all of us, all the people who have been reporting on this. It's true. I'll quote from a Star Wars movie so that it makes sense to the Lucasfilm people. It's true. All of it. All right? Look how badly. Yep. Marvin, explain the chart, please.
So this chart breaks down the Acolyte viewership by episode. So this is all 8 episodes, and you could see that first week when they released 2 episodes. I mean, the first own is right there. The first episode gets respectable viewership. The second episode gets about 1 million watch minutes less, which means so many people watched that first episode and then was like, nope. Third week pretty much stays consistent with the second episode, and then it's just down. It spikes on episode 6 because that was the one where all the reveals were made about Mama Yass and the lesbian space witches. And so it spikes for those 2 weeks, but still doesn't get up to the level that it was at for episode 3. And then the lowest viewed episode, Pro, of this series is the finale.
And it's not close.
Look at that.
That's how bad this is. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. Folks, take a look. Season 1, you might as well take it the season out. Episode 8, The Acolyte. This little tiny faint line is the finale. People were done with this show. They were done with this show. I've never seen a finale perform that lowly in streaming. And the reason is this, because on traditional TV, you don't have the dynamic that you do in streaming. In streaming, sometimes people will wait until the last episode comes out and then they binge watch the whole thing. That's not possible on linear television. So to have a finale perform at less than half of the prior episode, it's unimaginable. I mean, this is catastrophically bad. And
I'll also point out that these figures are so low that yes, all of us ranting about this show probably did have an effect on the episode where they come out and say that they're lesbian space witches. So for once, the argument that we actually got people to pay attention to a show more than they would have if we hadn't, these numbers are so astronomically low that yes, the percentage difference of all of us talking about it did move the needle on that one episode.
Hey, Ron, can you, in your vast amount of time that you've spent at the Disney parks in the past year, 2 years, can you think of any live action or original Disney Plus show that's out right now? Now, not Bluey because it's purchased, but anything that's original to Disney. Like, is there anything that's being merchandised at Disney World related to anything to do with Disney Plus?
Just Mandalorian is the only thing that I can think of. And you know, this is really, really funny, but there is a friend of mine who posts all the time her pictures with Baby Yoda. She's never watched The Mandalorian. So I would say that their biggest success is Baby Yoda merchandise, even more so than the story, because people seem to care more about little Baby Yoda figures than they care about any Star Wars story. This person literally says, I don't watch Star Wars. I don't care about Star Wars. I just think Baby Yoda's really cute. So
it's like Hello Kitty.
Well, whatever that is. But
should we remind the audience that they canceled season 4? I hate to do that. I mean, it's such a downer to remind everybody that they canceled season 4 of The Mandalorian.
I feel like The Mandalorian season 2 was probably the only really truly successful, maybe season 1 too, but also season 2 was the pinnacle of anything that Disney ever had that could have been Star Wars, and it's literally been sharp downhill from there.
Hold on a second, Ron. You're telling me, I'm not disagreeing with you, but you're telling me and the audience with the highest IQ on YouTube out there that the pinnacle of Disney Plus's success, back when we thought it really was going to make a run for Netflix, you're saying the pinnacle, the apex indeed, was when they had Gina Carano and Luke Skywalker in the same episode.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then,
it's not just, it hasn't been downhill from there. It's been jumping off a cliff downhill from there. I mean, it's so bad. You wonder, like when I watched season 2 and then I saw season 3, I was like, how is this? Isn't even the same show. It's so bad. It's
Right.
just it's so bad.
It was like going from The Sopranos to the new version of Muppet Babies. That's a change in quality.
Okay, but very, very quick question. When is all of this going to be put onto Iger's back? Because I still see people in Hollywood just praising Bob Iger for his success. And as far as I can tell, he has been a massive failure for this company, $100 billion failure for this company. First of all, putting their number one moneymaker, the parks, and especially Walt Disney World in Florida, last instead of first, creating one of the most unsuccessful things that Disney's ever done in their history as a company, which is Disney Plus. It's just, I mean, nobody, like his record says, Bob Iger is the worst CEO in Disney history by record, and people still praise him. Why? I don't get it.
The message. Erica, why do you think? Why do you think they're still, and Erica, do you think they're going to change their tune now that it's okay to say Disney Plus is a disappointment in the mainstream media?
I don't foresee Disney changing anything, changing their tune, their attitude. They're going to keep spinning wheels like they always do in whatever direction they want to spin wheels in.
Erica, I can't believe you would be so negative. Erica, come on. There's always a chance. Oh, wait. That's the next story. There's no hope. Well, folks, we've come to the end of another video of pure excellence and fun. Explaining entertainment, keeping you ahead of the culture curve. That's what we hope you believe we've just done. And why should you believe it? Well, because we've done our very best to make it so. To be true, to be factual, and to do what the mainstream, so-called access journalists simply won't. Folks, you can help share this out across the fruited plains of YouTube by clicking the like button. Share, subscribe. Click it, stick it to the algorithms. It is the notification bell. Drop a comment down below. Let us know your thoughts. And folks, as we get ready to say sayonara for now, we ask that you keep learning, keep growing, and wherever you are and whatever you're doing, keep having fun.